Hello folks, well it's that kind of time. September is just around the corner. And just as we're getting ready for this next season, I want to take you back in time just a little bit, just a week or two back into our trip in the van. We were taking a walk up at the north coast. And we were doing that thing that you do as you go for a long walk and you start thinking about the future. We were fretting and worrying and planning and fearing. And every time we looked into September and into autumn and into the future, we were just more and more starting to get ourselves in a little bit of a tiz about what the future would hold. And as we were walking along, we noticed that it was almost like the world was listening. The weather was mirroring our emotions almost exactly, as you'll see. Not wanting to make too much of this, but the weather is being very metaphorical here. We're walking along the path, but at the minute we can't really see where it's going. The future disappears into the mist. So does anyone else ever have that feeling? You know, life is always a mixture of knowns and unknowns, but at the minute it just feels like everything is unknown, everything is new. We don't exactly know quite what lies ahead of us, and that can be very unsettling. But just as we were worrying about that, almost as if God wanted to speak a little word of peace into our souls on that walk, 5 minutes later, I just had to turn the camera on again. Wait till you see this. And not wanting to be too metaphorical, part two. Look what happens when you walk through the mist. Suddenly the most fabulous view becomes clear up ahead. How cool is that? So that's my prayer as we light our candles today. We're just going to walk into the mist. We're going to do this together. We're going to walk into the future, and as we do so, I believe that all sorts of beauty, all sorts of solutions, all sorts of new possibilities will start to emerge. And that is happening already for us in Beaver. Even within the first couple of days of the staff team being back together again, we've started to brainstorm how we can use our buildings. We've come up with this kind of slightly mad idea of dividing the premises into bubbles. Each bubble has its own access and its own toilet facilities, so each one can be used independently and then left to rest for 72 hours, which is the kind of recommended safety space before it is used again. The exact details are, of course, still emerging from the mist slightly, but here's a little clip from our service this morning. Adrian describing how this idea is a chance for us not just to survive, but to thrive and walk towards a future where we can all be part of something amazing.
So those are our 4 bubbles. As you can see, the safety of the bubbles is right up there at the top, because with their own entrances, their own toilets, varieties of uses, ways in and ways out, we're hoping that it's as safe as possible. But because we've got 3 indoor bubbles and the outdoor bubble, that gives us opportunity to not just survive, but to thrive. And we're going to come up with a plan and a way of using these bubbles that will create huge opportunities for us to be together safely, but also to be together in a way that allows for us to grow and for new things to begin to happen with us, as well as doing some of the old things we used to do. So that's how we're going to go.
So at the start of another new season, we pray that same prayer. For light in a dark world and hope in a fearful heart, and peace in a troubled soul, and maybe a little bit of clarity in the mist as well.